Never mind, completely in the middle of Los Leones. But anyway, it is time. It is game number 2. And I forgot in the previous shout out Zowie as well as one of our sponsors. So a huge thank you to them. But of course, Intel, the premier sponsor here for the PGI.S, leading the charge into the plane as well. Let's get on with it. It's Miramar, game number 2, weekly final. Let's head over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Well, Hypoc says he's cursed. If anything, I'm still super happy after game 1, and I can't wait to see what game 2 brings here. We already had a wild circle in Los Leones. Maybe just a little welcome back to this sort of format, this sort of rule set that we're coming into. And beyond that, Poc, what have we taken away from game 1? Where have our expectations maybe been exceeded or met, or maybe even underwhelmed slightly?
Well, one thing I want to say is that obviously that funky plane path didn't really give us a good taster of kind of what I guess a vanilla default kind of Miramar game would play out like, right? So we had a weird plane path into, I think, as much as you loved it, maybe a bit of a funky ending, right? Again, an interesting point made on the desk, really, now that we've kind of have this meta reset, so to say, with obviously a different objective altogether this weekend. I think a couple of teams are going to find it difficult to kind of, differentiate between that kind of edge gameplay if that's their go-to, right? You can't play edge. The past circle 3, you cannot play edge in that previous circle. It's just a non-starter. It's just going to be so difficult to find space. Just all of those things become way, way more difficult. So this time around, a little bit more forgiving of a plane pass. So maybe some teams are going to be able to get themselves established a little better. As I say that, Clip's got some company over here, over on southwest of Leonis this time around, and you do love to see it though, don't you? You really do. Unless you're Navi.
Navi do not love it, but when you drop that far out,
yeah, it's an expectation.
You play the game,
right?
You play the game, right? It's like Ents on Erangel. When you're dropping like Zaki, you know what you're in for. However, what we're in for is look, okay, it's probably not going to go Los Leones this time. We'll probably go on that south kind of rip around the coast. So, look,
it's possible.
If I don't get my expectations up, who knows? I mean, if Liquid fans, Oath fans, loving it, absolutely loving it. Of course, they dropped in towards Los Leones. On the south side of things, that kind of like coastal run, you'll have Infantry, Genji, and Triumphant. So, I mean, you've got a fair, start to this one. But yeah, most of the lobby is outside the circle. So, I'll be interested to see where they gamble for.
Well, even though this circle 1 is a little similar, I think this will give the teams a lot better opportunity to find some space and maybe get themselves situated a little better in terms of loot. We did see, James had a pumpy up until about 9 minutes into the previous game. So this should give all these teams a good opportunity to get a better read on the lobby. Again, you're not going to have to anticipate, teams kind of making audible drops and dropping somewhere funky. This is the first opportunity we're going to see on Miramar, at least, where teams can maybe take something away from this one. TSM actually, again, pretty much a default drop, but spread pretty thin. And considering the rotations in Circle 1, again, it's just such a lottery, right? This time around, which teams are going to send it early, which teams are going to set up for rotation camps, and that West Road becomes such a huge factor here. This is another one in my eyes. If you're not moving early, you're going to be on the back foot for maybe circles 1 to 3.
Okay. Just looking across the board at the first potential fights. I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping it going north. I'm just not used to it kind of closing in towards the north side of this circle, kind of. And again, a quick reminder for you guys at home, if you're just tuning in, maybe you saw the game was on, you thought you'd dip in here. Well, hello. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Secondly, kills mean something again, which very fun for me. So we're going back to the more standard format that you guys are probably used to if you watch the more regional plays, more than what we had during the week. So just a quick little heads up on that one. Esther just trying to get a little attention his way, see what's around. Nothing too much to write home about at this point. Genji just kind of, they'll be okay for a little while. I think Infantry aren't going to be too far away if they decide to go further south, but Genji still has a little bit of time. You're still at the sub 5 minutes marker.
I don't really see too many teams making big moves. Obviously got my eye on the map as well, but actually just thinking about it again, just looking at the point breakdown, Oath, getting 14 out of that situation again, it's so difficult to kind of bank on the placement, especially if you're up until Circle 7, right? And there was still 5 or 6 teams up when Phase 8 actually posted. So to come out with that, I mean, again, Phase probably isn't one that, you know, traditionally you'd pin a low kill win on, right? But circumstances allowed them to kind of make use of that late game time. Sonic's already actually making big moves, I've got to say. Again, early rotating team in North America. Those North American viewers, this will be an expectation for them. They're carving their way right past Leonis. And again, going this early, that's when you kind of maximize your chances of not getting camped, right? There's still going to be teams kind of stuck up in rotation. You got to argue, though, some of these teams that had a more favorable drop from the plane, as in dropping in the first half with this circle posting, could maybe have been set up here. So Sonics really are going to try and get a dead center compound. It looks like they're sending it right the way in.
Yeah.
They're not even stopping to scout.
That's the kind of interesting thing. And keep in mind, Liquid is still on that western side of Los Leones, which has decent vision across. It's a good bit of high ground, so they could definitely make that rotation a little tricky. I don't know how much they could actually do real damage-wise. Let's have a little look. Yeah, you're seeing the shots coming out. Shoot to kill a little further away, so Sonic should be able to at least pull up for now. And again, it depends where they want to go with this. If they're just going to live in the shadow of Liquid, I probably don't love it as much as I would if they tried to get maybe a little southern compound a little further out. But I guess it gives them that 50-50 choice of getting into Los Leones or being the ones to kind of keep everyone out or being able to get towards the south and they can get themselves there. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's just, you're playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, Clip and Mexi's position kind of stopped that rotation as part of it. They can't wrap any further south with no info. That'll just be absolute madness. And actually looking at it, SDK and TSG sharing a pretty high traffic area either side of the road. Oath have got themselves situated up on the east side. This is the east side of Leonis, up on the rocks here. This is a decent spot, but again, if you leave it too late and all these compounds around you get filled, it's so difficult to rotate out of here. It's just wide open spaces. You can get peppered from 600 meters away by 4 different teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how Oath play this one out if it does decide to shift further east.
Okay. It does seem as though, I'm trying to think of where most teams have banked it on. It's no more east than it is south for now. We still have Na'Vi working their way in AAA. K7 have just about got in. Same with 4AM, they're going to be heading their way through. So again, some late joiners, but there's plenty. It's not as condensed. It's not as divisive as the previous circle. So I feel as though they should be okay. Virtus Pro, like, okay, I know how this ends now. Don't worry. Batulin's one of my favorite IGLs so far. I love his kind of take on the game. I love his parking as well. It's fantastic. Did he ramp up there? I was just about
to comment on that. I really hope so. I really hope so.
Really? It's kind of cool.
Gonna need a replay. There you go. There's your homework for the day, observers.
Good luck. I await your.
Hey, they got eyes everywhere.
Highlights.
They got eyes everywhere.
They see everything. I'm a little gutted if I'm honest, Puck. I popped on the kettle during the break. Not enough time for a cup of tea. It's just sat there warm. It's devastating, isn't it?
I'm heartbroken for you.
Yeah. I'm using my PUBG water bottle though. You know, nice little on brand. But it is a relatively quiet circle for now. Bear in mind, this is the first one to kind of come in. And most of these teams have been conditioned now to not be looking for, excluding 4AM and DA. And DA are excluded on the weekend, mostly because of this. Hot dropping, not really viable at this point, I don't think. We haven't seen anyone really overlapping here.
No,
I think where we'll pay more attention, but there's not much necessity here.
No, and again, once the kind of points dictate that, maybe we will see a few teams make moves. And again, it's week 1. Yes, we want to make a push for as much prize money as possible at this point. But again, if we're going to talk about the SDK phase situation, do you want to make enemies this early on in the week 1 finals?
Yes. For my excitement, mostly because I enjoy.
It wasn't rhetorical, don't worry.
Yeah, just yes, I would like fun, please, Hypoc. I'm a simple person these days. More fun, more potential hot drops, all the goodies. We're having a good time. For now, everyone excluding, I think it's AAA. Yeah, have made it in, so they'll be slowly working their way forward, but we get a little interesting once this updates. It depends how it cuts it, if it just moves towards the south, which most people are banking on, which it probably will, kind of shuffling it forward, and then kind of sitting in between somewhere of Los Leones and the coast.
Mm.
Ah! Yeah, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty
you
good.
doing?
Just in general, really.
Hydration.
I mean, this is a really good opportunity, right? For blank canvas, wipe the slate clean from game one. How do you want to play a second Leona's circle, right? The important thing is how much notice people took, and whether or not some of these teams are going to make similar moves, go for a similar part of the city. Again, Sonics this time around, they are over on the west side. Oh my god, Infantry and Oath actually crossing paths in rotation here. Belfast hops out. How does he win that?
I don't know. It literally made me choke on my water. Ow! Oh god!
With an AK of all
Speaking of
things.
choking, yeah, I mean, damn. All right, so casualties en route. We're gonna see a few of these because there's only so many roads into Los Leones. 2 main routes, a couple kind of side ones on the way through. Liquid, great positioning, but now gonna be a little bit split apart. Considering they went, I feel they were sat here, but I don't know how much they expected it to move here. Sonic's great positioning. They were kind of sitting 50-50 on this one. Virtus Pro 100% in, straight in towards Los Leones. Oh my god, Batulins. This time he wants up on the compounds. He wants up on the scaffolding, on the construction building. That's a dangerous shot. You just show your head over the edge. You've got to be careful.
Yeah, Vard actually forcing him off that angle. And Blue actually going to try and follow up with a molly here. It's going to land and do some damage. Is that Vard ticking away? It is. No, sorry, it's Iroh. He's actually going to fall to that, but well, we see a push come out. It's a bit of a bold push if it does come. Spyro actually looking as if he's trying to get aggressive on this.
VP, are you going to treat me to some
I
aggression
love
here?
this.
Is there some blood in the water you're looking to maybe get involved with? Ooh, the bombardment begins and just bombshells ringing in the ears as Miraku's dead and gone. It's Iroh and his Vard. Now, TSM obviously playing with that stand-in of Wookie Book. He still did really well to get to this point. So again, pretty solid stuff from them, but they need to hunker down. They need to just keep control for now. Now, keep in mind, because you guys are being so nice in chat and so, patient, previously it was Paro bringing you them, but Hypok this time said he wanted to, again, let you know there is a code available right now.
Fake news, but I'm going to hit you anyway, guys. Get ready with it. VRZW47 CLS C8F. So make sure you get that one in nice and quick. Again, that's the best sales pitch you're going to get out of me all day.
That's pretty
Just
solid. Honestly, that was good.
Put it in, get
That's
some
good.
points. Points mean prizes.
Yep.
Sold.
There you go. Tuck in. No more where is code in chat, please. Thank you very much. You've been fed for the evening. The little code gremlins. Now, Batulins, after that wonderful movement to get up there, has decided to get away from it. So, going to rejoin with the rest of VP. I mean, dangerous driving, but he does find a nice little... Finds a nice little parking spot. Going to pull himself into that.
That, for me, tells me that he did ramp that bike up, by the way.
It was impressive. That was impressive work. Yeah. Beyond that, though, I want to kind of talk about the circle. As much as, yes, Los Leones is in it, there is still enough space on the outskirts that this could very much keep it, towards the edge of play. Okay, no, I've lied to you. This is a Los Leones circle again.
Look at all the teams that then over-rotated back to the west as well. Okay. But do you know what? The start of the game, I was talking about the previous game, right? You can't leave it too late. Playing edge, past Circle 3, once you know it's committing pretty much to the city, is a death sentence. FaZe actually sending it up. Right, past SDK. Actually, no damage coming through initially, but Luke will find Gustav out of that. Kurt is actually leading the rotation for FaZe. What?
Oh my god, the pull-up. Just straight brutality. Fuzzface trying to do the dance in the cars to avoid the fire. Gets to the other side, gets the flush. But they've been... I don't know if this is where they desired pulling up, but it's where they're going to have to commit to at this point. So a bit of a 1-for-1 trade-out. Yes, they did lose out on one, but they took Purdy Cuddy with them. And now they at least get to leapfrog the way forward. But Longskirt as well. This time, Infantry keeping their eyes on FaZe, not letting them go quietly into the night. You've got Fuzzface, you've got Uber still over here. Luke 12, Uncivil on the push. They just saw that knock, and they see vulnerability. This is the right time to do it, but it's hard to clear.
We have to keep an eye on the kill feed if they do manage to actually get close up on building the Africa Freaks. Trying to make it in. Actually, over on this is Oath's previous position. Here we go. This is what we want to see. SDK and FaZe going at it. SDK already got bodies up here.
Yep.
I think they're trying to isolate a player here. Fuzzface playing a really cheeky spot outside. Actually, he was just looting Kurt's body. But FaZe's got to be careful here. A lot of these ground floor angles are open to third-party potential. So
yes,
it's going to be weird to see actually if SDK just opt to settle for that building now. They're going to be in very close proximity. That's what you don't want. You want to clear as much space early on in these circles as possible. Again, you don't want to be sharing territory, especially if it's 1 or 2 buildings like that.
okay. Now the East still has Africa Freaks and Gen G towards it. The rest of the lobby is very much committed to the town itself. So beyond that, I guess I still count where the likes of Na'Vi and Furia are towards the south as just part of Los Leones. I guess Sonics are a little bit further out towards the west. This time Liquid have opted to be, I guess they were here later. AAA, where they currently reside, was where Sonics were in the last game round. So a couple of switcheroos, but honestly this is a pretty similar position. Overall, I'm looking at 4 AM in the north side, a lot less teams in the north. Oath this time, way better positioning on the center for them.
As I see it, Freak's still obviously scouting out Gen G's position. EJ going to actually take out some of their utility, take a tire away. But Gen G now look as if they want to try and control the south side. Now, it's coming up in 6 seconds. I've said it before. Playing edge, once this next one commits to the city, it's so difficult. And there you go. So right now, look at Gen G's path. It's going to be really difficult. They've got an opportunity to make use of this time now on the east side. PO actually looking to get aggressive over towards EJ. He's going to catch the audio cue on that vehicle rotating. But Africa Freaks are going to make use of the space I was just talking about. They're going to use this opportunity to get in on the east side. And there's a lot of buildings open, actually, if they can get in quickly. I'm worried once again. Look at the center of the circle.
But
Good Lord.
I have seen a lot of endings, right, where kind of 4 AM are, that kind of north side of it. I wonder if people start trying to hit a 2-2 if they have the viability of it. If not, fully hit that north side of the road. Now, that's something I'll look at in a moment's time, because right now, FaZe are struggling. Fuzzface got caught off. Now, Infantry have been kind of hovering around this for a while. We've seen Shoot to Kill engage with FaZe earlier, but this has been kind of a constant battle of this kind of southern portion of the city. Pyro in the back line still working away. And yeah, that's Infantry sweeping through. FaZe from first to last. Miss you terribly, FaZe. But, you know, we like explosive results, I guess. It does keep us on our toes. But, again, this circle, I really will pay attention towards it. Because we've seen a couple of the endings go towards the west here. And you can see Shoot... Wait, it's AAA holding them down. So is Na'Vi. Sonics have tried to make a mad dash up the hill. They were playing more on the lower ground, that lower territory. And they've lost a lot on the way here now. I think they're down to 2 standing, if I'm not mistaken. Shrimzy's only knocked, so they can still hold it back. And luckily for them, a bit of third party. Na'Vi tried to move up and capitalize on maybe the slightly weakened Sonics.
Yeah, Gem's actually going to find that knock and flush. So maybe actually give it... Yeah, you can see Shrimzy's back on his feet now. So that actually gave Sonics the opportunity to reset a little bit. Gen G now trying to make their way in on the southeast side. You see just in front of them, SDK and wisely going to opt to pull over to these. Yeah, Pio's actually, I can see it now on the minimap. He's kind of giving oversight here, probably calling out a decent position for them to pull up to, but he's still got to make the cross himself. Africa Freaks, you know, they did rotate away from that spot with Gen G. SDK actually looked like they're trying to come and gatekeep Gen G. Well, there's Halo and Uncivil, but with us, Luke kind of scouting out where they've pulled up to, but that's an interesting move if we're going to see them try and hold Gen G at the edge.
I guess information is key at this point, but as I said, it's going to be hard to gatekeep when there's so much cover. You can see it's so hard to keep track of all these players. They can just kind of slink away through the ruins. But as I said, we have seen a couple of teams adjust. If I'm not mistaken, Team Liquid have popped themselves across on the northern side. AAA have put in Gems. I think he's starting to work towards the northern side as well. The next circle update is going to be quite interesting to me. I wonder where this goes, because as I said, we had the kind of southern hit on this one where the likes of TSM, Virtus Pro, Infantry, Oath are all banking on. But let's see where this heads towards. Wow, that's not far from the same. A little bit more of the northern side in it, but this is... Oath are grinning, but the rest of the lobby is going to be kind of grimacing at this.
That that construction building Oath hold onto is going to have such good oversight once again. Again, all these players going to be condensed down and crossing in between. The last thing you're going to be able to pressure is up on that high ground. You see AAA now trying to get some damage over towards Sonics. Both of these teams need to move. You see Mime already putting down a smoke trail. He's going to try and make some ground up, and actually the cover fire pretty good. Going to force Svit away from that window peak. Mime got to be careful here. If he falls, it's going to make it difficult for Sonics to really progress through. Actually, they might even be able to isolate this fight. Jay is actually holding on to this angle. He's going to miss the shots onto Mime, though. Doesn't get it down. He will find Tig,
but
though.
that'll do. Yeah, really good work. And the call can be made. He's at least keeping track. Okay, one player's crossed, but now I need to get moving. My position's noted. I've got to adjust here. Tiggleton
Big win.
is... Wait, Mime won that fight. Okay, so Tiggleton still could potentially get picked up here. Huge work from Mime to stop any push towards that compound. So yes, Jayers can re-watch this, but by now they're going to try and get their forces back on their feet. Shrimzy gonna have a little look himself. Very close by. Furia's beginning their journey as well. Jayers just dipped out of there. Did Shrimzy hear it, though? There's a lot of sounds right now. It looks like he's got a good idea. Jayers wins the fight on Shrimzy. Shrimzy's been sharp in those weekly games. We got to see them for merely a day. But Attack All Around, we barely got to see them too. They dipped into the lobby and dipped out. They won their game and they went and they got to the weekend.
The Furia now trying to aggress onto infantry, and the utility just getting traded back and forth. Actually going to opt for the vehicle. This is an interesting choice. They do have the smoke trail to try and get through this. Oh no! Oh, they hit the trolley. Oh, they're going to get farmed. They're actually going to get farmed. Longster going to find the first one. Kill Demo Falls. They've hit something else as well as a roadblock. Look at this now. The mad dash. Lou's going to find them. Furia eliminated. They've smoked off all of the obstacles in the road and drove into everything. Oh no. Not like this.
Brazilian
also
driving.
like this.
Look, Brazilians are good at everything, right? They are literally good at everything. We have to have something. They can't be allowed to drive as well to the same degree. They've got to just bonk into things every now and then. We are seeing Sonics trying to find their way forward, but they've been massacred en route. Tiggleton is back up on his feet, though, but it's only Tiggleton, and he might be dead in any second now. So many angles now looking vulnerable. You've got Na'Vi in front, Liquid to the side, a bit of a European sandwich here. And Tiggleton, well, he's not loving it. Down he goes. He's out in 14th. Not great yet from them. Circles haven't been brilliant, but still, after seeing how good they were, not quite performance.
So that's Ibby and James playing a little bit split. You can see James picking up a knock onto Senya. Circle will post on top of Oath once again, so eyes will go towards them after this madness on the edge concludes. There's just one member left from Na'Vi, I'm pretty sure now. Yeah, it's just Besto. Gonna try and deal with James over here, but Ibby with the crossfire. Shutting that down. It's going to be difficult here. Ibby needs to try and regroup. Actually, it looks like he's the one aggressing onto Bestelot, but 4AM will deal with the last members of AAA. Give them a little bit of breathing space. Ibby going to land the first shot. Besto now just playing his life really well, to be honest. He's becoming a nuisance, and there you go, the high ground. Oath's going to find one knock. Ibby will fall here, so that just leaves James.
Oath are truly just the observers in this, right? Just sat on their high castle, looking everywhere, being able to keep track on so many fights. Look, Aurelio, yeah, okay, saw a bit of Liquid, not gonna check in on 4AM here. Spins around, has a look elsewhere. They will be able to keep track of everything. Let's see how good they are at keeping that information flowing, keeping track of where the teams currently hold as well, because that's important. And also making sure no one encroaches on their space. They are slap bang central here. So you are going to have the likes of K7 not far off, TSM, VP. So many of these teams are very nearby, but incredibly hard to breach forward. Now, it looks like James did just tuck himself in some cover there. Just about... Oh, is there shotgun fun? Are we going to see it? Has God Iroh decided to create a new meta? And I mean, we're in the buildings. Why not? This thing absolutely pumps damage. So Alo there just going to kind of control the staircase. I guess no one's coming up today.
I mean, that's the weapon you want to hold that with, right? Either that or an S12K. Longsker actually going to send some utility upstairs, but I don't know, he's going to, I mean, no real opportunity to res his teammate right now with this much pressure coming down from SDK. Actually going to go for it right now. Unseveral and Alo just happy to hold on to the second floor. It's going to be difficult. They're going to look at the position. TSM foaming at the mouth outside. They can hear all this fight going on. So as soon as it does conclude, whoever comes out, whoever comes out the victor of that fight, ultimately has to cross versus TSM next. So it's the lesser of two evils you choose.
Well, sometimes it may become Sophie's choice at that point, though. There may not be a good option eventually. You'll have here I am, just stuck. Now, Oath, considering they are actually down to 3 and they've only managed 2 kills. Now, they have been peppering away. I'm sure their damage is quite substantial, but the actual kill count, not so much so yet. 11 teams, 33 players. So we know there's a couple of scraps here and there. Infantry and shoot to kill, not the ideal share, but again, we're only 7 seconds away from the circle updating, so we'll see who gets the slice of the pie. Again, this gets a bit scary for 4 AM. They're praying for that northern shift, and it ain't happened. There's a little bit of the north still in, but this goes down towards TSG. Oath still a fine. K7 and Gen G sitting pretty. A Freak of Freak's not too bad, but it's that south swing, that European NA portion down there. Besto, Virtus Pro, TSM. They are not happy now. They will have to move.
Longskirt still conscious actually on Civil's tucked on their balcony just out of view. But I mean, now that they've reset and got this res, they're able to hold SDK pretty effectively. I mean, they have to come down and leave the building eventually. You can see Jiao Yang actually is going to try and smoke this off, buy as much time, run the clock down for SDK as best they can. But not Alo's going to be able to put this pumpy to use once again. They've got to move 10 seconds now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Timing's going to be a factor. The longer they wait, the less their chances get, but maybe they can jump a team, get some kill points. It looked like they're about to make their move, so we'll have to see if that did conclude or if it still carries on. 4 AM, actually, rather than just shuffling along the east, they've decided to cross over to the south. That's a pretty scary prospect for all the other teams coming through here. So I don't know if 4 AM are going to make it, but there we go. Jumps out, that's one. That's a freebie. Longskirt's position is just superior right now. Does the dance and gets the kills. Perfect work from Longskirt. Fighting both of shoot to kill at the end. And now Infantry need to make their run, but they've got TSM to get past. That's going to be their kind of hardest battle yet. 4 AM, again, their adjustment is really interesting.
Yeah, Relo's still in a position to put a lot of pressure onto both of these teams. Actually, Besto put a lot of damage. Unfortunately, that just landed inside the crate. Here you go. This is the angle I'm talking about right now. Unfortunately, can't get that knock, but once these players are forced out from behind cover, Besto actually doing most of the work here for Relo. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he's going to pick up any kills out of it. It's actually BP to find that one. And 4 AM dying to the blue. They're taking so much damage here on the edge.
I think they made a poor choice here. I genuinely do. I think they could have made a way more informed decision potentially at this point, but as it stands, we are seeing TSM being pushed as well. Vard now going to be put on guard duty as Batulin's down below. Hirson's there as well. Batulin's trying to get the boys back up as best he can, but the blue's coming in, and that's where it gets a little sketchy for these guys. Smoke goes up, but if Iro pushes this, you're going to see problems really sign him out. And I wonder if they can get any of these reses. There we go. Just about safe at this point.
Oh my God.
Circle updated. And that's going to be Gen G laughing. K7 happy. A Freak of Freaks. We have a good couple of some Korean teams left in this. Vard just found the flush on 2 of these boys there. Spyro and Lou going to fall to him. TSM farming some kills, but as is VP, 5 kills hit.
Yeah, TSM 4 of their own. No way. No way that molly just landed. They didn't. It spread the wrong side of the tree. Okay.
Looks
Close enough. Crazy. Yeah, Crazy will have something to cling on to. But the important thing to note now, Oath have to come down. I think they only have the northeast corner of that left to play, so they have to give up this spot now, and it hasn't really garnered them too many points, Lauren.
No, which is a little underwhelming, I feel. Oath will have to make their move from this pretty soon. Virtus Pro might keep them a little humbled. If not TSM, depends how much damage Vard can do here, if he can take a player with him. You can see he's making a pretty good go of it. Relo just going to go for the quick descent. But the problem is people are watching this. Relo, that's a little sketchy to do at this point to me. Eyes are put your way, and simply put, the blue's going to be moving in. So I don't know if I love that. Vard timing misfortune there, but great moment to strike from Virtus Pro. Batulin's going to sweep through. And now this is where problems begin for Oath, because they're going to have Virtus Pro on their heels. Not sure about that remainder for 4 AM. I imagine they'll shuffle towards the east this time. Triumphant as well, going to be keeping tabs on this fight, but that Smoke's keeping vision really limited. Snake is great nade, going to keep back Batulins, and a Molotov to follow into that
huge as
smoke.
well.
Very hard to see. Yeah, you are
Huge.
not getting away from that.
Yeah, 2 big kills from Snake is there to relieve some of the pressure. They did get Reload back on his feet as well. Oath up to 7 kills now. And this is the corner I was talking about. They do have an opportunity to still use some area of this structure, but it's not much. And the problem is they invested so much smoke there to get Reload back on his feet. Getting across the road is going to be so difficult for them.
Okay, so who has center point? I'd say Gen G at this point. They have the central area.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of that, you've got K7 with 4 standing in this.
Oh, no.
Oath. I mean, people still have utility. Relo's going to burn alive, put out of his misery by Zanan. Now, this guy went off when he was playing on top of that hospital roof just not too long ago now. So eyes towards what he can do here, and Oath have to make the gauntlet run. Smokes are invested. They're trying to get through, but the Molotovs, the damage, the spray, it's all there. That Caps, I think, might have just made it at least some sort of cover. But yeah, it's not pretty right now. Everyone is pouring this utility in to try and get close to that Gen G compound.
Yeah, Snake is going to get flushed out. Pat Caps frantically bandaging up, but he's actually going to find Savior. Comes in there, didn't expect that peek from behind the bar, but again, just a matter of time for Pat Caps now. He's got the rest of K7 to deal with. TSG on the move now as well, over towards the east.
Triumphant. Freaks are on the other side here. And they're already signed their battle against Gen G for this compound, this building, at least to keep them on their toes. Again, that blue is going to force everyone forward. You don't get to, have a fun time with this. There goes Oath. Pat Caps is found, and we're down to 4. Freaks, K7, TSG, and Gen G. Gen G in the most centralized point here, holding this compound like their life, as it does. Literally depends on it. Zanan finds Shan, though. That's not going to be the end of this battle up on top. EJ finds Pio. Pio just got baffled. How did he get up here? They breached and cleared it. Pio none the wiser. The smokes, the flashes, all that utility. They had no clue. And now look how many people are on this compound.
And our Freaks actually get control of the roof, and that's a huge factor here, because I think they can play the star a lot more effectively than these teams have to fight it out on the ground floor.
Yeah, unless nades start raining in, though, that's where you got to keep your eyes on. Now, for now, it's going to be probably K7 and Gen G split between trying to deal with Triumphant as they work their way in. EJ aware of it. Oh my god, the nade! Esther out of nowhere just posts that through the doorway. Says, yeah, no more of that, please. Thank you very much. K7 and Gen G sharing this. And Inonix has the angle on this. If they start working out, this is going to be wild. Lockie's got one, Zanon's gone down, but there's the trade out. This still isn't clean enough. Inonix needs this cleanly there. They go on the swing. He's done so well already, but he needs more. And he might just get more. Dips back down, hits the reload. They're still standing. But Triumph are not. Gen G hold for now. And I say Gen G, it's just Esther here. In a 1v3. He's got so many players and nowhere to go on it.
He found the first, but the trade from Akkad was absolutely perfectly timed there. Africa Freaks, what a fantastic breach to get onto the rooftop there to take that away from Gen G. And you know what? Not even playing the star, coming down to third-partying that fight between Gen G and K7. What an ending. 3 teams share, well, actually it was 4 teams sharing one building, right? TSG managed to make it inside on the ground floor. Another Leonis ending that comes down to the wire, Lauren.
If anyone's thinking it's going to be heel-offs these days, absolutely not. This ain't Fortnite. These boys want to fight. They're just going to pile in there. This is, again, as soon as they see a third-party potential coming in, they will pour into it, and it worked, and it pays dividends. Like, as said, a Freaks taking the roof, taking that away from Pio, was massive to them. But then to be aggressive, to take that territory, to be proactive, I love that. It's all about the timing. And again, we've had some crazy circles here, but we've also seen some kind of crazy results. Keep in mind, let's kind of take this to a narrative level. We saw FaZe win the first game. And bear in mind, FaZe were the last team to qualify, right? Last team to make it through. Looked atrocious during the week, but pulled it together. And then, Korean teams struggled as well during the week. But coming out here in the second game, they picked up another win here. So already we are starting to see a little bit of a switch up, coming back to that normal format.
Yeah, again, I mean, you mentioned teams like FaZe. For me, it's eyes to FaZe on Erangel all the time, especially with, the story that's already been developing at PGI.S. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond back on with that SDK situation.